Did you know that the basic lands in Ixalan show the story that happens moments after the Gatewatch's defeat at the hands of Nicol Bolas and Amonkhet? Jace crash landed on the plane while trying to escape, but he found himself trapped and unable to leave because there was an ancient artifact that prevented planeswalkers from planeswalking away. So in each of these basic lanes you see a little Jace Beleren wandering as he tries to discover where and who he is. Merch, like, comment, subscribe. Hello, welcome to Back to Basics, a show where I take EDH commanders and try to find the perfect basic lands to fit them. I love seeing someone sit down with some beautiful basic lands, but something I love even more is seeing how well those lands match their commanders. One quick note before we begin. I like to give the artists credit for their artworks, but I may not pronounce their names perfectly. I'll try my best, but please forgive me and correct me if that ever happens. First up, we have Teferi Mage of Zhalfir, or Teferi Temporal Archmage. I love picking out basic lands for monocolored commanders, because you can run entire cycles of basic lands. For most decks that run more than one color, you have very few basic lands played in the deck, which makes trying to run lands that need to be in a cycle to look cool kind of impractical. But for Teferi, I went with these basics from Urza Saga by Donato Jean Collat, that are a fly-around view of the same ruined island with these strange pillar-like structures, shot from different times of day and from different perspectives. They are speculated to be the partially sunk portions of the Tolarian Academy that still break the surface of the water. This is cool because that's where Teferi is from, and he would be very interested in them specifically. Also, you could run this island from Dominaria from Jonas de Roo that actually depicts the city of Teleria in the background. Second up, we've got Zada Hedron Grinder. Another monocolored commander, but he was super duper easy to figure out. He's one color, so we can run a panoramic of lands. And these four beautiful mountains from Rise of the Eldrazi, illustrated by James Paik, fit perfectly in that slot, both from a flavor perspective and from an image perspective. Thirdly, we've got Lathril Blade of the Elves, who took a little bit more time than I thought because despite the card being Golgari colored, she doesn't give the feeling of being Golgari at all because of how bright the composition is, and how heroic her stance is as well. So the land base chosen had to be both bright and sunny while also being recognizable as being Golgari. So I went with this swamp from Battle for Zendikar illustrated by Noah Bradley, and this forest from Shards of Alara by Zoltan Boros and Gabor Sixai, which I feel like fits the aesthetic super well. The forest is bright and sunny and heroic, while the swamp has those same golden hues but notes of green taken from the forest as well. Fourth up, we've got Aminato the Fate Shifter. Now this card has some very strange color styling, particularly in its mana costs, so I went with a more focused set of three, and I ended up looking at these three lands and falling in love with how they look placed together. Tyrese Nielsen on this Plains from Tempest, Terry Springer illustrating this island, and this swamp, both from Mercadian Masks. The idea I was going for was to have the swamp show off the blue and the white colors, the island to show off the black and the white colors, and the plains to show off the blue and the black shades within its color identities. And finally, we have Chatterfang Squirrel General, who I am so happy with the result for. The tree they are leaping from is actually a very large part of the composition, so I landed on this swamp from Onslaught by Tony Studlow, and this forest from Douglas Schuler from Tempest that both display trees prominently and as up close as I could find. One thing I really like about the art for Chatterfang is its forced perspective, making the scene feel like it's moving, like a little squirrel army is about to leap onto you. And I think the forest especially nails that feeling of what if you were a squirrel yourself skittering up and down the side of a tree. But there you have it, 5 more commanders sorted for which basic lands I think match them best. But I want to see what you think. Tell me which commanders you'd like me to try and pick out basic lands for. Comment down below and let me know, and have a great day.